I don't want to scare anyone, but I'm going to give it to you straight about Jason.
We have such sights to show you.
Oh, God! No!
15 years ago, I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary.
The book disappeared.
Welcome to Fright Night.
The funeral is about to begin, sir.
Welcome to another episode of Friday Night Frights. I'm Tony, aka Comiverse, and with me is my handsome co-host from Kentucky, Matt from Heroes for Hire Comic Club.
Oh, you
How you
flattering.
doing, brother?
I'm doing good.
Well, tonight we're talking about the 1979 cult classic Phantasm, and it was directed, written, photographed, and edited by Don Coscarelli, and it stars A. Michael Baldwin, not to be confused with the other Baldwins. There's no relation. Bill Thornbury, Reggie Bannister, Cat Lester, and the legendary Angus Scrimm as the tall man. So before I do the useless, not useless, but before we go into the facts and the trivia and all that, Matt, what do you think about the movie?
Well, I mean, I thought it was pretty cool. It's got like a deeper story to it. Like this kid. So like the deeper story is this kid's dealing with the grief of losing his parents, and then his we find out later his brother. But I guess I'm blowing the movie for everybody if you haven't seen it. But it's late 1979 if you haven't seen it by now, and you don't really realize that till like the end of it. But like, it's kind of got like a kind of a heartfelt story, you know, about it, and in a weird way, I guess. And for anybody that's ever dealt with loss, and this kid's obviously went through something very traumatic, so he's blocking everything out. And also like some of the cool visuals in it, like the set, like, you know, like when he finds that portal going into the underworld or whatever, and you got all that like real slick looking set with all the lights and everything. I thought that was really cool.
Hey, Jeff, and we have Big Jeff from Adamantium Blade Comic Collectibles. Right? Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Close enough.
And there's some freaky stuff goes on it, and like, you know, at the first of it, it's kind of unexplainable. You're like, well, man, this thing's all over the place. But then you realize most of the movie's taking place inside this kid's head, you know. And I thought it was very interesting. I read, though, I was looking it up when we were looking at the pre-production stuff, that the guy that directed the movie here, it says he got the idea from a nightmare he had when he was a teenager.
Yep.
Which I thought was interesting. And this is all independently produced, and it got picked up by a distributor, which a lot of these horror movies in the like late 70s and the early 80s, like Friday the 13th, Halloween, they seem to start out with that kind of indie roots to them, and then they get picked up if they're good.
Yeah, like shoestring budget, and they blow up.
And the other interesting thing, I don't want to take all the good thoughts of this movie, but like another interesting thing I found out about it was that now I can't remember his name. Hold on. Where's it at? In 2015, it was restored. The restoration was supervised by Coscarelli and production company Bad Robot, whose co-founder J.J. Abrams is an outspoken fan of this film.
Yes, he is.
And so there's like he helped remaster it and everything, which I thought was really cool. Restoration of the film. And it's really turned into it's a cult film, but like the surrealistic qualities of this movie are really cool. It's like a different like take on like a psychological or like a supernatural like horror movie. And I like it.
Yeah, it's you're watching it and you think these things are occurring in real time, real life. And, you know, I don't want to skip all the way to the ending, but They're inferring that a lot of this, like you said, is a dream. So then you have to, when you get to that point and you hit that realization, now you're kind of going back in your head through the movie, going, all right, what was real and what wasn't?
Yeah.
But that I forgot what's the name of the guy that played the tall man.
Angus Scrimm.
Okay, yeah, that dude was creepy. Did Tony freeze up on us?
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was
He'll
like,
be
either
back.
he's holding real still or he froze.
All right, his internet hopefully will come back. Well, we can hold it down though. Yeah, it's Angus Scrimm. It's a tall man, the funeral guy.
Yeah.
And like I like the person, like they start off right, you get right into it, and like you don't really understand it's his brother because it's their friend or something that died, you think. But then you realize that his friend had got killed in a car wreck with his brother later on.
Yeah.
So like he's so traumatized that like they say something like, well, of everything that's going on, you get kind of a hint to it too. The guys that are attending the funeral, he says, well, I didn't want him to show up because, he's already had a tough week. And he's inferring that he's already had to watch his brother go to his brother's funeral. And he can't handle another funeral. And then and you really look at him, he's like, he's got the cooler older brother, like everybody wants a cool older brother like that that's got the cool car.
Yeah.
And the car is also another character in the movie, that Dodge. I can't remember what kind of car it was. It's a Dodge.
Challenger? Was it a Challenger or a Charger?
A Charger or Challenger. Here, let me look it up. It's a really cool car, by the way. The car is.
Yeah.
I love that car.
Yeah, that's the tropey quintessential cooler older brother car.
I got cut off talking to Nancy. I got to call her back quick.
It's a 1971 Plymouth Barracuda.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's
Tony said his internet shut down.
Oh, okay.
But the Plymouth Barracuda is a cool car anyway. They call it a CUDA, so I don't know if it was. I guess that's just short for Barracuda.
Yeah, or depending on the engine, you call it a Hemi CUDA.
Yeah, but you get the supernatural feel because like there's a chase scene where the hearse is chasing them.
Yeah,
and there's nobody driving it,
Yep.
And also, when you look back at the movie, you realize that the kid in his dream is running from the actual truth that his brother is gone, and there's no magical way to save him. You can't just kill the bad guy. The tall man basically represents the angel of death, right, or the Grim Reaper.
Yeah,
kind of.
Or or like the pain of loss, the pain of the loss of his brother.
And like it's like catching up to him. Like he's trying to avoid it. And like, look, I can, and me and you both understand that. I remember like feeling bad when my stepdad died because I didn't cry right away, right?
Yeah,
and,
a lot of people go through that.
Yeah, we're like, well, you're like, was there something wrong with me?
No,
no. And I'll never forget watching. Like a month later, I was watching Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner, and the end of it. I think you know what part of it we're going to talk about. He's like, "Hey, Dad, you want to play catch?" I'm like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah.
That was rough, but also made me feel good because he liked that movie too. But
when you're close to somebody, especially like a family member, and they're taken away unexpectedly, or even expectedly, a lot of people don't cry. It happens. It happens in a indiscriminate amount of time after the event, because a lot of people are just in shock or stunned.
Mom's phone died. She was trying to use mine, but I don't have my aunt's number on the phone. So apparently she got mad at me because I don't have her phone number on the. Sorry, she never gave me her number. Sorry, go back, Jeff. She was.
Oh no, I was just saying it's a normal reaction. People that are grieving sometimes not to cry right after the event occurs, because some people are shocked. They kind of go into a not a catatonic state, but they're just stunned.
Yeah.
and the emotions don't catch up to till a day or two or weeks later. Who knows?
And I'm not trying to sound callous, but like it's different when it's somebody you grew up around for like over 30, 40 years than somebody you knew. Like, okay, I knew this guy for like 6 months and he passed.
Yeah,
It's still sad, but like I'm not trying to be callous, but it's like you feel sad. But you feel more sad immediately because it's like it's not as like I don't know. It's not as much of a shock. But like when my stepdad died, and then one of my best friends passed away 2 years ago. He died in his sleep. It was a massive stroke or something. And you just don't really feel anything because you don't really, it's like, man, I don't really feel like they're gone because I just talked to them, the other day, I don't know how to explain it. And
it puts you go into a surreal, I don't know what you call it, but the pain of the event doesn't really register right away. Let's see. I know there was a Phantasm 2 as well, but I think that was there was a Phantasm 3 also. Didn't know that. I've seen 2, but I haven't seen 3. I don't buy into the Rotten Tomatoes stuff. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 72%.
well, is it the critics or the audience score though? It's what you got to look at.
Yeah.
Because they did that with another movie out just recently, and it was pretty good. I got to get by the end. Sorry. Yeah, this movie is just it's like a very surreal type thing. Like the way it opens is like their friend that he goes to the funeral. You think this must be like something about like the afterworld or something. You know what I mean? And he's like struggling to like he doesn't want to realize he's dead. And this, I think like the tall man, and he turns into that woman. The what's her name? They call her something, the lavender woman or something.
Yeah.
And like it's like the transition like has something to do with the way she stabs him or something. And like also, this is a little tropey about the sex scene where they're in the graveyard. There's no way you could really do anything with her. They're like laying. She's like, all you see is their legs moving, and she's just laying on top of them. I don't think you can get anything going that way. But there he is.
Dude, that pissed me off. My God. I tried to listen on my phone to what y'all were talking about, but I had to go reboot my internet. Sorry about that.
We're talking about like the we were talking about like the thing about grief in this movie, and like when you lose a loved one that's real close to you that like you grew up with, like your dad or your brother or sister or something, or cousin or mom or aunt, and like you kind of try to avoid like the stages of grief, for a while. Like it doesn't seem like they're gone because you just talked to them recently, probably. And like also I was like talking about the lavender woman, I think they call her.
The lady in lavender. Yeah.
It's like they're like, okay, that's their friend right at the first of it, right? There's like, and also we were talking about how they kind of give you a hint that his brother's dead at the first of it.
Yeah, I never really thought about it, but you're right.
Because they're like, well, he's already been through so much this week. So they didn't really say it, but like I guess they're inferring that he's already had to go to one funeral this week. Because I'm assuming his friend was in the car with him when it wrecked.
I don't know. Because it shows at the beginning it shows Mike walk up to a gravestone, but it doesn't show what the gravestone looks like.
Yeah.
And you was talking about the lady in lavender. I got some pictures. That's Cat Lester. What do you think about the fact that scene was, she getting it on with dude, and then all of a sudden it shows the tall man? You're like,
yeah, that's odd.
Well, maybe they were like trying to make him feel better because he was dead.
Yeah. But
like, like the boatman taking on the river Styx, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll play one clip at the beginning of it. It's just 25 seconds, but it's basically Jody and Reggie, the ice cream guy.
Jody, Hi, Reg. How's it going? Tommy's gone. It's a hell of a way to end a trio. It's hard to believe.
Yeah, I mean, because like y'all said, when you start watching the movie at first, you're thinking, okay, they're just going to Tommy's funeral, and then you see, and then Mike is being Mike. He's talking. He sees the tall man do something. You see everybody at the funeral pull the casket out, like the six pallbearers and stuff, and then after the funeral is over, the mortician or the tall man, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, he don't lower the casket back in the grave, and Mike sees him do this. I don't know about y'all, but that's a hell of a guy,
Yeah.
You might be on some steroids or something to be able to do. I don't even think Arnold could do that.
No, sir.
No. That's a heck of a lot of weight because counting the vault they put on those things.
Oh yeah,
a lot of weight.
Can't do that. I've unfortunately been a pallbearer, and with 6 people, it's hard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Especially if you know the guy or the person who was a big person, then
Yeah.
But I heard y'all talking about the other movies. There's 5 movies in the Phantasm franchise. The last one came out. Their last one actually came out in 2015 or 2016.
Damn.
They made it, and originally it was going to be, I think it was shelved. And then after Angus Scrimm died, I think they decided to go ahead and release Ravager. That was the last one, and as a tribute to Angus. And later on in the other movies, you get more of an in-depth, explanation of who the tall man is. He was a guy. I think his name was Jebediah Morningside. He was a mortician in the 1800s, and he starts messing with it. He becomes obsessed with what's on the other side of death and whatever, and he ends up creating this device. And I don't have the clip because it's from another movie. I think it's 3, where it shows him walk in. He walk through the portal, but when he walks back through the portal, he's got the spear and he's already the tall man. So I mean,
yeah.
But
I don't know about the spear. I kind of I didn't know all that, but like when you watch this movie, when you watch at the end of it, you're like, well, I guess that was all just in this kid's mind or something.
It makes you wonder if it is.
Well, then at the ending, it's like they had to throw that in a shock ending.
Oh yeah, always.
And that funeral parlor is creepy. The funeral home, and then like that creepy gate that goes into the cemetery is creepy. Like the whole thing, and like it's like they got the guns out and they're trying to fight them with guns, and like they realize the guns aren't really going to help you much, really. I mean, he did like shoot that spear with a shotgun, but
yeah.
And then that one thing freaks me out, even though, and we'll get more of that in special effects. I guess they did the best they could for that big bug, but like I like when they had the finger, they were going to like show it as proof, and it turns out big bug, and it's like trying to attack his head, and like like, oh God, it's crawling on his head, and then it crawls back out of the drain. That was wild.
I love that. Well, I guess y'all want me to give. I'll give a brief little synopsis. It says Phantasm is a 1979 American supernatural horror film, directed, written, photographed, and edited by Don Coscarelli. Stars, like I said before, A. Michael Baldwin, Bill Thornbury, Reggie Bannister, Kathy Lester, and Angus Scrimm. The first installment of the Phantasm franchise. The film follows Mike, a teenager in a small Oregon town, who, along with his older brother Jody and family friend Reggie, investigates strange goings-on at the Morningside Funeral Home, which is operated by the mysterious mortician known as the Tall Man. And actually, nobody really refers to him as. I mean, they start calling him the tall guy later on. But this movie, I always felt like it was kind of chopped up. And, we find out this year that the original cut for this movie was 3 hours long.
Oh.
And they actually used some of the footage that was cut in like Phantasm 4. So, I mean, and you're talking about budget. and other things. It says Coscarelli based Phantasm on a nightmare he had as a teenager, which he developed into a rough screenplay. The film was a fully independent production, like you said, financed by Coscarelli, his dad, and local investors, with a cast and crew made up mostly of amateurs and aspiring professionals. The film was shot over the course of a year, mainly in and around Chatsworth, California. And then it said Coscarelli continued to alter and develop the screenplay throughout the filming process. Months-long post-production followed, during which the film underwent significant editing. Yes, they chopped that 3-hour movie into an hour and 29 minutes. So, I mean...
Yep.
Well, you know, especially like when they're thinking about, especially like if it's an independent production like that, you can't just be like, hey, we want to get funding for this 3.5-hour movie, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he had to like make sacrifices. You know, they always do that, like in these movies. But I haven't seen, I hate to admit it, but I haven't seen, if I've seen it, it's been so long I forgot. But Phantasm 2. So does Michael show up in the second one?
Yeah, okay, so Michael is in the second one. You know, Phantasm 1 was completely independent. It was ran on a $300,000 budget, and it grossed $22 million at the box office.
Ooh,
and
yeah.
Universal Pictures picked up, I guess they bought the rights or whatever, and they picked up, they were going to do Phantasm 2. I believe it came out in 1988. It was like 10 years later. And one of the things they wanted to do was they kept Reggie, but they didn't like A. Michael Baldwin's character, I guess. I mean, I don't know why they had a problem with him. And they ended up getting, I can't think of the guy's name. Hold on. Well, they ended up getting another guy, and I'm actually trying to go to the Phantasm 2 page where that way it'll tell me his, because I would like to get it right. James LaGrosse was the guy they got to play Michael in part 2, and he ended up a few years later playing one of the thugs or the presidents in Point Break. I believe he was the one that got shot and thrown out the plane.
Oh, yeah.
Died with the money.
When he got shot in the bank and they took him on the plane, yeah.
Yeah, and then, of course, after Phantasm 3, when they made Phantasm 3 on to the end of the series, they got A. Michael Baldwin back. So, I mean, you know, it's pretty cool. I mean, the settings, like you see this one, obviously this one is set around Mike. And most of them are. And then what's interesting is by the time you get to Phantasm 5, it's set around Reggie. So, I mean, and I'm going to play a few more clips just because I like them, just for the hell of it. Now, I showed you the part where, you know, we saw Mike watch the guy, the tall man, put the, you know, the casket back in there. And then, of course, he does what everybody sees when he does see something really cool or really freaked out. He gets on his motorbike and splits, but somebody's watching him.
Huh.
So
Like,
that's pretty cool.
They're making it seem like he caused him to crash.
Well, when you look up the tall man, go ahead, Matt.
I just want to say, you think he might have caused him riding the motorcycle through the graveyard? Like, that's kind of disrespectful.
I don't know. I know it says some of the tall man actually has powers. He has superhuman strength. It says he's also been seen to possess telekinetic abilities. He's able to control both inanimate objects and people with only the use of his mind. So he may have actually was looking at him and threw him off that bike.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Yeah, me too.
His blood is yellow.
Ugh.
And let's also talk about some other things. I don't have no pictures, but you know we call them. They've been referred to as the killer Jawas. The little,
yeah.
They actually, what you don't see, and I don't have pictures of it or video, but they take tall man takes the corpses, shrinks them down, and puts them in a keg and sends them to another dimension where they're used as slaves. And they're starting to freak out because they're like, well, mom and dad are buried there and all this stuff. And Reggie's trying to, poor Reggie, he walks into this. He's just an ice cream guy. And he walks into this, and You know, for somebody, I loved Reggie. I mean, Reggie's like one of my favorite characters, and I think he had the best idea when it came to the plan to take out the tall man. I'm gonna play this real quick.
Okay. I see it. I see it all now. What we gotta do is we gotta snag that tall dude and stomp the shit out of him, and we'll find out what the hell is going on up there. Yeah, we'll lay that sucker out flat and drive a stake right through his goddamn heart.
You gotta be shitting me, man. That mother's strong.
I love that. I mean, when he says that, I'm gonna have a stake right there. I was like, dude, he's not a vampire.
For what he's seen in movies, you know, he's like, I think we'll just take him out with a stake to the heart.
And I wish I could have caught it because, like you said, there's a scene where they shoot at the hearse, and the hearse gets a branch goes through it, impales the little killer guy, and they open up the door and it's Tommy, and they end up putting the body in Reggie's ice cream truck, and he's like, "Hey man, is that dude gonna melt all over my ice cream?" You know?
Well, hey,
but
I'll tell you something about Reggie's like a ride or die though. They called him up, and he didn't even question that shit. He just went and helped him get that body out of that car and put it in the back of his ice cream truck.
Oh yeah. And there's other parts I didn't show videos of. He goes, Michael goes and talks to this palm reader, and they're telling him that, they basically tell him, don't fear. It's all in his mind. And that's kind of a hint, because he keeps saying, he's afraid Mike's going to leave him. And they said, no, don't worry. If Mike leaves, he's going to take you with him. But nobody ever really thinks that Mike's going to leave because of what you find out in the ending.
Yeah.
He can't take him with him.
The little blonde at the fortune teller's house is kind of cute.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she died because you see this blonde go up to the Morningside mortuary. She walks into that room and you hear her scream. So no, because at the end of it, Reggie says he found some girls. He found their Mike's aunt and another girl, and he said they went out the window and ran for the hills. So I'm assuming they lived. But I'm going to show you a couple more clips, and I'm going to ask y'all a question, because if we don't think I ought to play the clip, I'm going to show a picture, because I just want to point something out just because. But here we got Mike going around. He's investigating inside Morningside, and he deals with something for the first time in his life.
I wonder, was the sphere part of that guy's nightmare?
The spears are controlled by the tall man.
Okay. I just wonder if that was a specific thing that was in his nightmare.
The kid may have just imagined all of it. So like with a spear, I mean, I'm not seeing the other movies, but like.
Well, I believe that when they made this one, I don't think they planned on having a franchise. I think they may just probably plan on doing the one and done. And they actually emphasize more on the spears later, because, I mean, you find out, obviously, that after you do Phantasm 2, that apparently this wasn't in his mind. It actually happened. But when you're just dealing with this one movie, it's a great thing, because you do get to ask you, when you just have the one movie, is it in his head? Did it really happen? We don't know. But when they started making 2, you find out, it picks up right where the first one ended, with Reggie saving him from the tall man and the house blowing up. So, I mean, spoilers. Are
you wanting to play the clip where he gets hit in the head?
Well, I'm going to do that, but I'm going to show the part where he gets hit in the head. But I didn't play the other part. The other part's the part I was wondering whether or not I should play the video.
Oh, when the blood comes out, I think it'll be fine. It's fake blood.
Because I'm gonna play this part, and hopefully I don't get in trouble. If it disappears from the replay, maybe, But
okay.
This scene, while y'all watch it, almost got the movie an X rating, and I want y'all to tell me what you thought it was that got them the X rating. And here we go.
When I first saw it, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, the spears don't play. They, you see all that. You see the blood. He tunnels into his brain, and the blood comes out. And you would think, guys, that would be the reason why they got the X rating, but it wasn't. I can't remember when they were getting the movie subjected for rating with the MPAA. They had a problem with the body with after the body falling, the guy peeing himself.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they had the problem with. That's why they was going to get an X rating. And somebody, I remember who it was, but somebody that was part of the board argued with them and said, "Look, no, man, that's just a natural reaction. If that's what you're worried about, And then they was able to talk them into changing their mind. But yeah, I mean, you're like, wow, of all the things to get a rating, X rating for, it'd be that, I will play a few more clips. I love these because you get to see for the first time, right after he pulls that gun and gets up, you get to see him meet the tall man for the first time. He's seen him before, but this is the first time face to face.
Oh, shit.
That's probably what I would have said too, to be honest.
Oh yeah, shit. And I love the fact in this next clip he does. Okay, if all of us are staring at this dude and he's creepy as hell, I believe he did what all of us great heroes would do in this situation.
Yeah, I probably would have ran a lot sooner.
Yeah, I'd have ran like hell, man. What do you think, Jeff?
I'll tell you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I tell you what, this kid's ready to rock and roll though. He's got like boot knives and 45s and shotguns. He's just ready to just go to war with these people. And
that's why these movies were fun when you were a kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, the kid's not like a shrieking violet. He's not afraid of the like his brother keeps telling him to stay at home, but he's not having none of it. Like I even like where he concocts that little device. Although I was afraid he was going to blow his head off with that shotgun shell when he's tapping it with that tack. I'm like, what are you doing? And he gets with a hammer and he attaches it to the hammer and blows a hole through the door with a shotgun shell. I thought that was pretty innovative. And I don't know. I really liked that a lot of the visuals. Like I was really impressed for 1979. Those spears. Like I don't know who created the spear, but like also the way they made it look like it's going through the air. I mean, they really did a great job. I didn't see any wires or anything. Like I've seen a lot of bad movies. A bad cinema. Me and Jeff both have, and you've seen your share too, Tony. And a lot of them, you've seen the strings hanging off of it, but I didn't see any wires or anything. They did a good job.
Oh yeah. I'm going to point out about the tall man, Angus Scrimm. It said after being intimidated by Scrimm on the set of a previous film, Jim the World's Greatest, Coscarelli decided that Scrimm would make a great villain and casted him as the tall man. Initially, Scrimm had little input on the character, but began contributing to the character's construction after Coscarelli began to trust his instincts. Scrimm was outfitted in lifts and a suit too small for him in order to make him seem very taller and skinnier. Coscarelli says of Scrimm, I really didn't have any idea that he would take it to the level that he did. I could see it was going to be a very powerful character. This dude hardly says anything. He's boy.
Yeah.
He has a few things, but he has a couple scowls. You're like just his facial movements and stuff just scared the hell out of you. I mean, you're like, oh God.
Yeah, the way he's like, come here, boy.
Boy.
You play a great game, boy.
And it has if we're talking about any type of trope, it's one of the tropes that always got to me when I was little watching scary movies is when the victim or whatever you want to call them possible victim, is hiding somewhere. They think they're safe and concealed, and they're looking at the bad guy. And the bad guy's far away or in another room or whatever. And all of a sudden the bad guy just stops and turns and looks straight at you. You're like, oh shit, I'm busted.
There was a film scholar that I looked in the Wikipedia. He talks about, his name is Jonathan Kenneth Murr. He interprets it as being like the kid's running from his grief. You know how they're always running from this, like when he's like, he doesn't want to face the fact that his brother's gone.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
And it's just like, I think we all do that when we lose a loved one. You don't really want it. You want to avoid it. And some people start drinking heavily, after they lose somebody like that, or they just they kind of shut up his mind. Remember how the kid, like, he had totally disassociated. Like, remember when Reggie's like, no, don't you remember? He got killed in a car wreck last week.
Yeah.
What would be interesting is if you could apply the stages of grief to this guy's character: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then acceptance.
Yeah. Basically, they go through all the stages of grief in it.
He definitely has anger because he's, there's a couple of times, when Jody locks him in the room, he said, "You son of a bitch, you're going to leave me."
Yeah, well, it's because he don't want to be alone. He's lost his whole family basically. And
while I had when the internet was giving me fits, I heard somebody mention that they likened the tall man to the angel of death, and I actually agree with that.
Yeah,
and also
Matt said that.
Yeah, and also he's like it embodies, like this guy right here was talking about, this film scholar. The tall man kind of embodies your childhood fears of adults, and states the tall man wins in the end because in dreams, they're the only place where death can be defeated.
Yeah.
And it's like this guy's almost like the angel of death, or like the Grim Reaper. Every culture has something like that. The Grim Reaper, the angel of death, the boatman. They used to say, give the boatman put 2 coins on on somebody's eyelids, so they'd have money to pay the boatman on the way across the river.
Get across. Yep.
Yep.
I thought, and I think they're one and the same. Tall man representing death, but I thought, to me, I felt like the tall man represented the pain and the loss of his brother, and he was trying to outrun that. If that makes sense.
Yeah. And I was looking at the casting. It talked a little bit about Reggie, and I thought it was pretty cool if I could find it again. But says Coscarelli based the character of Reggie on his friend Reggie Bannister. That's the guy that's in the movie, for whom the role was written. Reggie was designed to be an everyman, a loyal friend, and serve as a comic relief in the film. And I mean, because when you see Reggie, he shows up with the guitar. There's a scene where him and Jody are playing guitar. So apparently, they were in a band, or I'm assuming that's what the trio was. And they're playing on a song. And believe it or not, the guy that plays, Reggie Bannister, actually is a singer-songwriter. And unfortunately, I've heard that at the beginning of this year, he's on hospice now. So, we may be losing him soon. I don't know. Hopefully, he'll be all right. I don't know why he's on hospice. No, he is.
Tony, you said that you saw all the way up to Phantasm 5?
I've seen all 5 of them. I've seen every one of them.
Do you like all of them?
Yeah,
I haven't seen past 2.
Yeah, it loses me a little bit in 3 and 4, but 5 now. 5 doesn't get a lot of critical acclaim, but screw the critics. I enjoyed it, but I will be honest, by the time it gets to 4 and 5, it's a mess. It really is. Okay. And they did their best to try to tie it up, because it pretty much goes from being a Michael story to a Reggie story, and it goes from being inside Michael's mind in the first movie to being inside Reggie's mind in the last movie.
Okay.
But I mean, hell, I still, when I do a marathon, I still watch all 5 of them. I mean, I still enjoy them for what they are. They're not,
Yeah, I ask you because I think we're all 3 of us are kindred spirits in the love of horror movies, slasher movies, whatever you want to call it. And to hear your opinion is more important than any critic.
And later on, you'll find out the secret of the spears. There's not just silver spears. There's gold spears. There's different types of spears that do different things. Hell, you'll see a giant spear with a laser take down a building in 5. So I mean,
Oh shit!
you see.
Yeah, I gotta see these.
There's a little. I don't remember which one it is. It's either 2 or 3, maybe 3. I don't remember which one. But the tall man actually, somebody actually takes the spear apart, and there's a miniature brain inside of it.
Whoa.
You found out some of these spears are sentient, and I don't really want to spoil it, but somebody returns to help them later on, and he's a spear. So I mean, but yeah, they really go. Yeah, I wonder who. And they really get into it later on. I mean, there's a scene in part 2 that's really cool, where it shows them going to another cemetery, and it ain't nothing but open, empty graves. The tall man had already went through there and plundered that town of all those graves.
Damn.
And you're like, whoa, this guy's actually, he's building an army, but nobody knows why,
Right. He's probably wanting to be the scourge of the earth. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it starts with the original Phantasm. You start with the idea that it's just this one cemetery. And then by the time you get to 5, no, he has world-shaping plans. He's planning on doing this to every freaking graveyard in the world.
That actually harkens back to Greek mythology a little bit, because in Greek mythology, there's several different times where there's a person who has the ability to raise undead armies to do their bidding.
And I don't want to go too much into it, but I mean, honestly, maybe we'll do the other Phantasm movies in future episodes of Friday Night Frights. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
that'd be cool.
There's even, when you do the origin of the tall man, I think it's 3 or 4. You'll see it. I've got a video I'm wanting to play that's about 2 or 3 minutes long as we get toward the close of the show, where it's basically just a tribute to Angus Scrimm. And you do see some of the other clips from the other movies. But
cool.
I'll see if I can put that on there. We'll do that last. But I do want to play a couple more like we was talking about.
Yeah.
But here's the end sequence for the movie. Reggie's already, I've got this picture where Reggie's consoling Michael, telling him, look, Jody died in a wreck a week or so ago. He says, and he tells him, he says, I'll never replace your brother, but damn it, I'm going to try. He said, I'm going to be there for you. He's becoming the emotional support. And he says, you know what, dude?
It's a touching scene too. Really, it is.
It really is. He's like, you know what, dude? We need to change the scenery. He said, we'll go hit the road for a couple of weeks. He goes, where are we going to go? Well, we'll figure that out when we get on the way, man. Go get your gear and let's go. And Mike's going to go get his gear, thinking everything's going to be all right, that it was all a dream. And then he grabs his suitcase and this happens.
You got to have the old jump scare at the end. I love it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I'm just going to throw this in here. I'm going to throw this in here just because I hope nobody has dreams like this. This is one of my favorite scenes from the movie.
Yeah, that's a nightmare.
Yeah,
I love that scene.
Yeah, it's just like I've not had the dream where they drag you down like that, but like I have had the dream where somebody's standing over you like that. It's just really freaky. I found an interesting quote here from the director. I just wanted to touch on it. He said, I had a compunction to try to do something in the horror genre, and I started thinking about how our culture handles death. It's different than in any other societies. We have the central figure of a mortician. He dresses in dark clothes. He lurks behind doors. They do all these procedures on the bodies that we don't even know about. And he says the whole embalming thing, if you ever do any research about the embalming method and what they do to prepare these bodies for the funeral to be shown, if you do research on it, it's pretty freaky. It all culminates in this grand funerary service production. It's kind of strange stuff if you think about it. It just seemed like it would be a great idea to make a movie about. So it's almost like it's about that too. But like, Was it like the Egyptians had a different way of handling the body, like when they would mummify the remains and put all these items in there with the pharaoh? And
I think it all just
yeah,
it all just stems on different societies through the ages
yeah,
finding out ways to contend with grief.
yeah. And the Vikings, you know, they would do the Viking funeral where they would catch the boat on fire, and then also the Indians with the funeral pyre where they would put them on these platforms and set the fire to the body. And I think it's also just the way we handle grief, and it is weird. If you ever do, I had a friend that went to mortuary school, and he told me what they do. And it's I don't know how they do it. I couldn't do that job, but
it takes a certain type of person.
And everybody see the show 6 Feet Under? Remember that show?
Yes, excellent,
very good show. But like it shows you like kind of what they, you know, they have to give dignity. They have to treat these bodies with dignity and respect.
Yes,
and like a reverence to these people because they are somebody's loved ones.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm thinking too deep into this movie, but I just thought that was an interesting quote.
No, man. Even when I would do my, I would have to handle coroner's cases when I was in law enforcement. I had one where an older gentleman unfortunately had a massive heart attack, and he died on the 9th hole at a local golf course.
Ooh.
So went out there, did the case. It was just an unfortunate, medical calamity, and they took him away. But you have to take all the belongings and return it to the family and all that stuff.
Oh man!
So I had to do that. But I just took one of his golf tees. I know this sounds cheesy. I don't even know this guy, but I took one of his golf tees because I'm assuming he loved golf, and I put it on the green. Stuffed it under where you couldn't see it, and just left it there. Just I don't know.
Pretty cool.
I don't know why I did that. I just did it. You know, but out of respect. I don't know.
Yeah, you were giving respect to the man.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, what'd you think about? I don't know if you heard me when I showed that scene about the spear and about it getting an X rating for the pee and not the gore itself.
So when I hopped back on while we were all here, I went to the YouTube and rewound and watched it. I think I don't know why they would take issue with just kid wetting his pants, and it also there's several movies since then that have happened where it shows a person wetting their pants because of fear.
Well, they were going to take that out of Friday 13th Part 2 when what's her name is hiding from Jason. And
that's
she
right.
You're right. And they didn't want that in that movie either.
I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't know what their problem is.
Well, let's
bowel
go around
movements or not bowel, but
it's not like they're actually peeing. It was, of course, obviously water.
Yeah.
And if your body, like in Phantasm, the dude was dead, so your body's going to naturally expel.
Yes,
that's true.
It happens. It happens. 100%.
I mean, you being a former police officer, how many wrecks did you go to where the person expired and probably had soiled themselves?
100% of them.
But we'll go around the horn real quick,
death.
And I'm going to start with Matt on just this part because gore and special effects. Okay. Gore and special.
Before I do that, I'm gonna go. So when our grandma used to say, "Be sure we wear clean underwear because you never know if you get in an accident." So it doesn't really matter. All right.
No, you're right. It doesn't.
Okay, so we're going to talk about like our overall review of it.
We'll do the gore and special effects like you do, okay. And then we'll talk about our overall feelings.
Well, I like the special effects, and I like the gore.
We'll put it all just put it all together. Hell, I don't care.
No, I don't care. I mean, we'll do it both ways. We'll just do it your way. That's the best way to do it anyway, I guess. There wasn't a lot of minus the scene where he gets the spear in the head. That's probably the most blood they show. So I'll give the blood gore about 3.5, I guess. And the special effects, but they didn't really have to have a lot. Really, the only I really like the scene where he falls into that portal and Reggie and them have to pull him back out. I thought that was done well, especially 1979 on a shoestring budget. And that room he goes into, where it's all like sterile looking and clean, it's almost like you're inside of one of the slabs at the morgue or something. And just the way they did it, I thought that was a great set. And that mausoleum, my God, that mausoleum's scary because like the way they shoot it with that long hallway, it seems like it goes on forever, and like it's just and the part I like the part where he's sitting waiting on the guy at the mausoleum, and all those hands bust out from that vault and just pull him into it. That's freaky. Yeah. Start to pull him into it. So, and that spear thing, the way the spear moved, it looked very organic. It looked very natural. It didn't look like it was on a while, like I said earlier. But so I give the special effects like at least a 4 for what because I mean, there's not a lot of special effects in it, and I thought they did good. Now, sometimes it seems like in the more modern horror movies that go along, the fake blood improves. Like even in movies, it's improved over the years. Like remember in the '60s, like if somebody got shot in a John Wayne movie, it was red paint. You could tell it was red paint. Yeah. Or some kind of like something just red. It wasn't. But like and so the blood was pretty cool in this one, and I really that scene where he's getting pulled under the grave there, where the tall man standing over was pretty cool, and I like how they did the mirror thing. I thought that was a good trick. Take my allergy pill, Mom said.
Well, Jeff, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, pretty much all the stuff Matt said. I'm just basically gonna piggyback on all that. I'm gonna give for a gore factor. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5, and for special effects, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. And I want to talk about. I guess it's not a category, but just overall ability to make me feel uncomfortable and anxious as a viewer the first time I saw it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Oh,
because like you say, that tall man didn't have but less than half a dozen lines in the movie, but he was still scary as shit.
Yeah, to me the creeping factor is a 5 out of 5. I was creeped out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot of video clips I could have chose from, and I'd have been here all day playing clips. But like the scene where he's walking in town, and the scene stops because Reggie opened up the ice cream thing, and he just stops and then when he closes the door, he just keeps on walking, and that tells you, okay, so he don't like cold. Okay, it just and that factors into the other movies. It don't really factor here, but I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. And then, like you said, I really should have showed more about the dwarves because the way the special effects for the dwarves was pretty cool. The cutting off the finger and turning into the fly and all that stuff was pretty cool too. Like y'all said, there's not the only really gory part, if you even call it gore, is when the blood shot out of the spear. I mean,
yeah,
and
that wasn't that bad.
No, and the spears, y'all heard me say I said on another show we was talking, I said I found a spear on eBay for $300. I actually found one for $50. So as soon as I clear the money, Tony's finally getting a damn spear.
You know what? I forgot about this. The part where it drills into his head, and obviously it's a fake head. That was a pretty good prosthetic head there that they were using. I mean, it's made me uncomfortable. Like anything like drills into somebody's head or eye. Like there's a movie called Zombie. It's an Italian movie, and there's a scene in it where they're like driving her face into this like big wooden splinter right into her eye, and they don't cut away. I love when they don't cut away because it makes you so uncomfortable. It's got something to do with an eye or your face or something. I don't know. I just like that.
But I'll give gore special effects a 3.5 as well. And like y'all said, the overall scary factor of the tall man, because dude, I watched this movie, I want to say an 84 somewhere, and I was still, 13, but dude scared the shit out of me. I mean, there was something about him. You was like, I don't know why, but this dude just snatched the kid up like he wasn't nothing and walked him out to the hearse and chucked him in and shut the door. And you're like, what the hell, man?
You knew something was wrong.
He's an old dude, and he turns into a chick.
And remember in Bram Stoker's Dracula when you don't realize it, but it's Dracula that picks Keanu Reeves up in the carriage. He just picks him up and moves him on into the whoa. Like in this movie, like he's just like, all right, little man. He picks the kid up like he's just like weighs nothing,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So like you said, all that stuff. I'll give the special effects. I'll get like Jeff said. I'll give the gore factor a 3. I'll give the special effects a 4. But overall creepiness a 5. I mean, this movie it's still for what it is. It's a great film. On a shoestring budget, they did really good on the special effects. And I'm going to save something for trivia because I'll have a little trivia part because I'm going to talk about something else. But overall, your overall feelings on the movie itself. How would y'all rate the movies? And we'll start with Jeff this time.
Overall, just for the first Phantasm, out of 5, I'm gonna give it a 4.5. When
What
you
about you, Matt?
ball it all together.
Ball it all together.
I give it a 5 because I wasn't. It's been a while since I saw the movie. And I think I only saw it once when I was younger. But like, so also when I was looking at it, because I didn't realize the first time, I guess, that it was a dream. So apparently, Freddy coming in somebody's dream wasn't the first guy to do that. But
Yep.
I would also say that you got Freddy Krueger's glove, and you got Jason Voorhees' mask, and you got the box from Hellraiser, right? Puzzle box. And I would hold the spear up in the same, just as iconic as those things, or like in Candyman's hook. Those things are like these iconic things that you don't forget in this movie. Like if you see that, anybody that see these movies, if you see that spear, you know what it's from.
Especially our generation.
Yeah, it's Generation X, especially.
Yeah.
Because
I love it.
Yeah, you're right, Matt. I was going to say, Matt, go ahead. Okay. No, I was going to say you're right, because when I was telling people at work, I said, I was telling them about mine and Matt's show, and I said, well, I'm doing a show this week on Phantasm. Now, the people my age was like, ooh, Phantasm. Wow, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. And some of the other kids were a little lost. I said, dude, it's a really great movie. It's about, strange going-ons at a funeral home conducted by this guy called the Tall Man. It's pretty cool. But like when you talk to the people that know you, you mentioned Phantasm. First thing they mention is Tall Man and spears. So,
Yep.
The spears are iconic.
I
give the movie. Go ahead.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just think we talked about it before. I didn't know anything about the movie. It was just one of those movies that when you got that lucky trip to the video rental store, and I saw that VHS cover, and I was like, boom, that one.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm going to show the poster. When I went and seen the cover, and you see that tagline that says, if this one doesn't scare you, you're already dead. And I'm like, whoa, you know what?
Yeah.
I got to that's a rental right there.
And then another thing I'll say, this movie is good at making you feel uncomfortable. That's what a good horror film is supposed to do.
Yes.
Yep. But I'm like Jeff. The first time I watched it when I was a kid, I knew nothing about it. And then I watched it, and I was like, wow, man, this movie is scary as hell. And I give it a 4.5. It's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be. And I'm gonna pull this one thing real quick, because I just thought this was cool. I'm gonna share it, and y'all can tell me what y'all think about it. It says, what makes horror villains scary? They break rules. Freddy kills in dreams, no safe space. Jason can't be killed, unstoppable. Michael, no motive, randomness. The Tall Man, he breaks reality, dimensions, disguises, killer Jawas, spears, corpse army. Physics doesn't apply.
Yeah. Straight up.
I love that. But I've got one other piece of trivia besides the fact that I talked about that it was originally 3 hours long. Don Coscarelli has actually said that he still has a print that's 3 hours long. And one of these days, if the demand is there, he may actually release the 3-hour version of the first Phantasm.
You get a director's cut, huh?
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Could you imagine how much these movies, like if you try to find the old VHSs, I know for a while, dude, you couldn't find any of them. Like Phantasm 3 and 4 was unattainable on DVD, VHS. Now, since they did the remaster of Phantasm, the first one in 2016, you can buy them all on digital now. I bought them all on digital. I need a physical copy. And I actually seen where you could order a physical copy on Blu-ray for like $20 or $30. So it's more attainable now. That's pretty cool. But one thing I didn't know until I watched, I don't know if are y'all familiar with the guy, Minty Comedic Arts? He does the 10 Things You Didn't Know videos. He does a lot of really cool videos. I watched the one he did, 10 Things You Didn't Know About Phantasm. And one of the things he pointed out was that Don Coscarelli's mom, who did the makeup and stuff for the people on here, she wrote a novelization for this film. It got released in Japan. It was only available in Japan until 2002. Then it was released in the United States. They only made 500 copies. And I went, they said it's considered a, what do you call it? A rare, like a big collector's thing. And I went on eBay just to see how much if I could find it on eBay. I found one copy of the book for $3,000.
Wow.
Ooh.
So yeah,
Maybe
Tony will probably never get to see that.
Maybe you can find a PDF of it. Hold on.
Maybe. I mean, maybe Kendall will have it or something because Kendall's how I read the novelization for First Blood. That blew my mind. So I mean, but yeah, guys, I'm gonna take a minute real quick, and I'm gonna go ahead and play this. I feel like I shouldn't, but if for some reason you're watching this in the replay and it gets blanked, then you'll apparently they skipped it. But I'm going to try to do this. I had a video that was too big, and I'm going to try to play it this way with the presents, and we'll see how it goes. But this is a tribute to Angus Scrimm. That's all it is. I want to play a tribute to Angus Scrimm. Some of the clips from Phantasm.
Begin, sir.
Boy. You play a good game, boy.
Ice Cream Man. It's all in his head.
That shit's creepy.
Yeah, I did. See how he's all like.
Small man. Your end approaches, but it is not yet. Take great care how you play. The final game now begins.
Oh.
That's it. Oh, shoot. Sorry, I removed the wrong thing. Sorry, Jeff.
That's all right.
All right, there we go. Yeah, I just want to play a little bit. Like, yeah, you see the 1,000 balls, and that video was 9 minutes long, and I was like, I'm not going to play a 9-minute long video.
I think it'll be all right because it's different clips. You know, I think it'll be all right because like my intro that we made, that we played the first of the shows. I just put all those clips together, but they're only like a few seconds in like duration for everyone, so that never got in trouble before. The only reason I got in trouble for was I had music under it that they said was royalty free, but turns out it wasn't apparently.
Well, I added that Phantasm part at the end. I said, I hope he don't mind. It's just for this episode.
I like it. That guy's creepy as hell. Phew.
Yep.
Yeah. And the only thing I remember, Angus had a storied career. He was in a lot of movies. But I actually remember, the only other thing I remember him from, I was a big fan of Alias when it came out. I still am. I'm actually going through and rewatching the show with Jennifer Garner. And he played the SD6 interrogator for a few episodes. And I'm like, as soon as I seen him, I went, holy crap, it's a tall man. He's on freaking Alias, you know? And he loved this role. He loved meeting fans. If you ever get a chance to go on YouTube, you can find all kinds of videos about him. And
he was in Chopping Mall.
Yeah, he was in Chopping Mall.
Wishmaster.
How you doing, Rich? Yep. But it's just he's done some YouTube. You find him on YouTube. He did commercials for Fangoria. He did all these kinds of things. It's pretty cool. But I guess we're at the hour mark. I want to take a minute and Matt, you want to tell them what's coming up for episode 3 next week for Friday Night Frights? As you're talking, I got a picture I'll show for next week's Friday Night Frights. Tell them what we got coming up.
We're going to be reviewing the George A. Romero film Creepshow. And it's basically a love letter to EC Comics, Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, and all that stuff. Like, it's got different stories in it. And Adrienne Barbeau's in it. She plays a real B word in this movie. It's also got some great actors in it. Hal Holbrook is in it. A young Ted Danson. We have Leslie Nielsen in it, and Ed Harris, who cannot dance to save his life, is in this movie.
Oh boy!
You know what? We ought to let Ed Harris in this movie, and Crispin Glover in Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter, have a dance off, and
Elaine Bennis,
and put Elaine Bennis in there from Seinfeld, and that would be the worst dance off in the history of dance offs. But yeah, so it's like an anthology film. There was like 2 sequels, and Stephen King's in it.
Yeah,
Stephen King plays the little country redneck farmer, that finds the meteorite, and he's hilarious. He must have been on. I think his performance was fueled from was sponsored by Columbia and the Medellin cartel, because I'm sure he was doing a lot of the Colombian marching powder at the time, and he'll be the first one to admit that. But yeah, that's what we're doing. It'll be the same time, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, or the booger sugar. I didn't want to say the actual word, but
the Colombian soldier vitamins.
There's Kylie. I didn't see Rich there. Rich, hey, Rich.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on next week. So tune in. It'll be on my channel next week. But we do a thing now we're going to do where it's like if people can contribution, like be a contributor to the. So I'll tell Tony how to do that with this one after the show. Get more eyes on the videos and everything. So.
Oh yeah, and then in 2 weeks we'll be back here for episode.
Shit.
Yeah, we'll be back here in 2 weeks for episode 4, same time, same channel, where we'll be discussing The Evil Dead, and it's of course we know it's Bruce Campbell, and it's Sam Raimi's first. That was Sam Raimi's first movie. I don't know. But we're gonna be talking about We're gonna be talking about Necronomicons and boomsticks and chainsaws and all the great stuff about The Evil Dead.
I can't remember what I picked for the 4th one. I may have to go back and do another one and pick it because I can't remember.
Well, I know next week you've got Creep Show. The week after that'll be Evil Dead, and then we go into Christmas. And I know we've been talking about our holiday horror films.
Yeah,
we got a few planned
Silent
for that.
Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah. Well, I got to put Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 on Bad Cinema because that movie's just awful.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. I gotta tell you something. Since you said Silent Night, Deadly Night. One day I was doing what they call pushback, and I had to take some trash out, and I went outside to do the trash, and I pulled the trash out of the cans and went, "Garbage day."
That's such a crazy scene, man.
I was by myself. I mean, can you imagine if somebody would have been walking by and I would have went, "Garbage day," and they would have went, "Okay, what the hell?"
You know what we might do?
Yeah, unless it was somebody close to your age, possibly.
I think what we'll do on the 4th one of this month, and because I think I had another one in mind, but I think I've just you know how it is. We play jazz here. We're improvising. Friday 13th Part 6, the final. The Jason Lives. I think we'll do that one.
It has that same trope in the very beginning, where Jason pops out of the grave because Tommy wanted to destroy him.
Yeah.
And then young Tommy Jarvis is in the bushes looking, and petrified or whatever, and Jason gets up out of the grave facing away from him, turns and looks directly at him with those hollow black eyes. You can't see anything behind the mask. It's that same trope.
Yep. Well, guys, that's about going to do it for tonight's episode of Phantasm. Sorry about my internet shutdown. It happens.
That's all
right. That's the first time, dude, it's done that in a long time. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank my co-host, Matt, from Heroes for Hire Comic Club. I want to thank Big Jeff. You can check them out on Instagram. You can check out their YouTube channels. Give them a sub, all that good stuff. I want to thank everybody that was. Well, I don't think anybody really hung out in a chat except for Rich and a few others. But I want to thank y'all for hanging out. Anybody watching this on the replay, thank you as well. Like Matt said, he'll show me how to do the collaboration where we can get more views. And join us back here next week. Yep. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. we will see you back here next week on Matt's channel, Heroes for Hire Comic Club 4 Creep Show. That's going to be fun. I'm going to have to go find it to watch it because I haven't seen it in like 30 years.
It's free on
And we're
YouTube.
gonna-
You can find it. I'll give you a link.
Cool. And we'll see y'all next time. And remember, is it a dream or is it real? We'll see y'all next time.
It's only a dream.
It's a dream. No, it's not.